in some news close to home, the Brooklyn Nets announced the hiring of new general manager Sean Marks. Sean Marks comes to the Brooklyn Nets from the San Antonio Spurs, where he held the position of assistant general manager. This announcement came approximately 5 weeks after the reassignment of former GM Billy King. So, Sean Marks in a new position, he's got a lot on his plate. What do you think his first moves will be?
Well, his first move, I think, was waiving Andrea Bargnani, that buyout there. Unfortunately, he wasn't a good fit for the team. Andrea wasn't as happy. He was on the bench for the first time in his career. Only averaged his career low 6.6 points and averaged 13.8 minutes per game. So that was the first move there. And I know he's adamant about having a unified vision in the front office and on the court.
I think that this is good for the Nets. It's going to give them a head start as they head into the end of the season. As we all know, this team has really been struggling. And I think that this is kind of going to give their fan base, Brooklyn and all of New York City, kind of a sigh of relief. Like, all right, look, now we know that this team is going to be headed in a different direction. Because, with the whole Billy King, getting rid of Billy King, and then you don't have a general manager, you want to put someone in place. Now, as far as whether or not this Marks decision is going to be the right choice, we're not going to know until 2, 3, maybe even 4 years from now, until this team can start to compete. But I like what I've seen from the guy, and the big thing is that he's got experience on 3 levels. He's been in the NBA as a player, he's been in the NBA as an assistant coach, and he's been in the NBA in the front office working for R.C. Buford with the San Antonio Spurs.
Yep.
So I think having been involved on those 3 levels, it'll give the guy some, a different set of eyes to kind of see who he wants to bring in to coach this team and what players he wants to keep and get rid of.
Yeah. He definitely has the pedigree. I mean, he's been mentored under some of the most respected names in basketball. As you mentioned, R.C. Buford and Greg Popovich as head coach of the Spurs. For him, one of his first missions is to find a coach.
Yep.
And he's looking for a coach that's defensive-minded, that can garner the respect of the players and then also give the respect. And when I read that, the first name that came to mind was Tom Thibodeau.
Of course.
Tom
Yep.
Thibodeau is one of the best defensive minds out there. And he garnered respect from his players, and he gave it. Now, they ended up complaining at one point that he pushed them too hard. But now under Fred Hoiberg, there were some players who actually missed that Tom Thibodeau pushing them. So I think that's, that's going to be good. I hope maybe Tibbs will come. And then he also is, his job is to build a roster, and he knows that he's low on draft picks until he has no draft picks, no control until 2019.
Yeah.
But he is interested in building through free agency. The European market was just very much Greg Popovich. San Antonio Spurs have had a lot of international players on their roster, and through the D-League. And oddly enough, he was the general manager of the D-League team in San Antonio. So he looks like, on paper, he looks like has the ability to turn this team around. And it's just a matter of when.
Exactly. I'm pleasantly surprised, actually. I think he's focused, and he understands that it's all about having that mission and bringing that community back to the fans. And he's had that experience. And San Antonio Spurs, one of the top teams, the quality teams in the league. So you couldn't ask for any more at this stage for the Nets.